Hello you lovely people and welcome. In this video I'll be showing you a preview of the upcoming update for the SE Designs F-16 Fighting Falcon package. Now as you can see I've got 3 in front of me here, so we'll start with the Charlie, going to liveries. So since its initial release there have been extra liveries added over time. And in this package there have been some extras added as well, but I'll just highlight a couple of them. From the initial, I think there were 8 on the initial release. As you can see we've got quite a few going on now. 2 main highlights are the Ukraine Air Force and the Viper demo for this year, which is basically the prototype colours for the F-16 back in the day. One that even showcased at the Mildenhall Air Fete. I can't remember what year it was, but yeah, so we've got that colour which I'm going to be using for the video. But if we go to the Delta variant, again we've got extra liveries in comparison to what was initially released. I believe some of these are the W tails, so they are either Misawa Air Force Base in Japan, or they are it could be Nellis Air Force Base. I'm not 100% sure which ones. And then obviously we get to the Indigo variant, and we have 2 variants here. We've got the Suffer or Storm, and we've got the Republic of Singapore Air Force, which I believe has always been, these 2 have always been part of the package. But as you can see it's grown livery wise. External textures have been updated, internal textures and modelling have been updated as well. So as it's the same cockpit across the board, I'll just use the Charlie for now, and like I say I'll use the Viper demo for this year. So let's jump in the cockpit and take a look. Right, so the first thing I just want to point out before, it's just going to be a thing for basically every video. My machine is only running on sort of medium textures and things like that, so what you see here is not what you'll have if you have a higher end graphics card. I'm running a 3050, so anything higher than that, obviously yours is going to look a lot better. I could probably push it, but I don't want to lower the frame rate. So looking around, as you can see a few things have changed. The DD now has no buttons around the side, it'll all be controlled by buttons here. The annunciator panel changed slightly, and we have vastly better texturing. I mean, compared to my previous video of the aircraft, it's just leaps and bounds ahead. We have a transponder up here, on nav radio there, comms here, we've got all our various switches for ECMs, our IFF there, OBOGs bit testing and things like that, and our trims. Over this side are all our system switches for upfront controls, maps, MFDs, things like that. So, and this is for the aligning of the INS. It should really be in the off position, but like I say, this is only a preview version of the update. Unfortunately, at the time of making this video, the DD is being programmed in HTML, so it's being future proofed, not been done in XML. So all of this will be HTML coded, so it will work hopefully when transferred over to MS 2024. So yeah, everything's crisp, nice and clear. I've got a clock down there. I mean, it's not changed massively, but it has become more of an F-16 cockpit. Looks very much the part. Well, it did back in the day with the limits that it had, but now it's just even more so. Just jumping in this just feels comfortable as I fly the F-16 quite regularly on DCS, so I know I shouldn't be making the comparisons, but you know, layout is layout, and if it's uniform across both simulations, then that's a good thing. And getting out of that and into this, I just know instantly where everything is now. DED is where it should be and things like that. Well, it was up there where it should be anyway, but the controls and everything all changing. So let's power this bad boy on. So we'll go from battery to battery and GPU. So screens, the usual stuff. So zoom out of the map and we'll zoom in, whatever your preference. I'm flying on my own. I'm not on the servers, so we can't pick up any traffic at the moment. But yeah, I mean, like I say, this thing just looks fantastic. Just all across the board, it's become very, very much a very good bit of kit. F-16 has always been a favourite, just with so much choice on flight sim. Sometimes I forget about the F-16, but this is definitely making it more preferable. We've got the throttle hiding switch, which is the missile threat volume knob there, so you can get to your engine bits and pieces. Make sure that everything is where it should be. Let's get this thing started up, and we'll get that on and that on, and we'll jump outside now. And as you can see, he's got a special display helmet for, well, to match the aircraft, which is a nice plus. Just going to let that start up. And we've got a good start, and there was much rejoicing in the marshes. Okay, so let's just have a quick look at the loadouts that we can have. So, I'll just move this over a bit so we can see what's going on. So, we can have, if you're using the Israeli variant, the SUFA, or the Republic of Singapore Air Force, you can have the conformal fuel tanks. Obviously in this version you can't. So we can have a centerline tank. In this case it's a nice blue to match the display scheme, so we get rid of that. And also we can have the wing tanks, so again we can fill those up for either side. And when it comes to loadout, we've got choice AIM-9s, AIM-120s as usual on the two outboard pylons. Then we've got the AGM-88 harms for the inboard. That will come with the, I can't remember the name of the pod that works in conjunction with harms, but that will go on the left chin pylon, which is on the intake. And then we've got more AIM-120s, like I say, for the inboard, outboard, sorry. Then we've got the AN-ALQ-131, which is the jamming pod. If we just put that in, that's used to jam any air to surface to air missile threats, and is a nice addition. And and if we go down to the ASQ213, better known as the sniper pod, which goes on the right hand chin pylon here, so we've got that as well. So you can go fully maxed, or you can go with nothing at all and just no pylons, nice and clean. So just looking around the aircraft itself, you can see the textures are really good. I believe there is a burner ring inside the throttle there that will show if I throttle up. Yeah, there we go. So you can see where the afterburner ring ignites the fuel. I'm not sure if that's a recent thing. I know that they've been updating it across the board of some of their aircraft, and so CJ Simulations with the Typhoon as well. So there you go, that's stores, internal, external. We can take it for a quick flight and just show you a few of the other bits and pieces that are left inside the cockpit. So let's jump back inside. So with it all up and running, like I say, you can see on the DED the conventional layout with your TACAN code down here, of VHF and UHF frequencies, steer point, things like that. So that's been coded quite nicely, and it'll all be controlled with the buttons here, obviously, and the upfront controller. And like I say, at the moment that's still encoding. Just zero out the altimeter for a minute before we get going. Right, okay, looking around, we've got our extra part at the top here. It says that the flying controls are engaged. We can turn on our left and right, although we've got nothing on there. Our fire control radar altimeter. We could go for the DD data switch, but DD's not working at the moment. Radar altimeter is on. Okay, and initially on startup all of these would already be on and in a state of well, in positioning, obviously. So you could either go for normal or stored heading. Stored heading will be where you left off initially. If you want a completely clean, I don't know why I'm explaining this, because it's not it doesn't work in sim, but in a normal setting it will do a complete clean INS alignment. Once that's done, you can stick that into nav. You can do an in-flight align as well, and so on and so forth. And this is our mids switch, and that's already in the on position. We have a hook, and we've got some autopilot features there, and we've also got a couple of switches here. So heading, hold, I indicate airspeed, approach and altitude. And up here we've got roll, heading select, steering select. So if you've got a waypoint, it will follow the waypoints. Attitude or altitude, hold. So yeah, but that's a disengage autopilot and engage autopilot. So you can do either of those there. Our HSI here with heading, course, our fuel quantity, put that into norm, and our speed Mach number there, a VVI, AOA, and our official horizon. You can also put those functions onto here. So if we hit the middle button here, so we've got some options. Most of them aren't implemented. So flow, we've got a HUD. We've got a HUD repeater there. Get rid of that. As it goes, just to show you the not implemented part. So you can go for image, or you can go for FLIR, whatever your preference is. Pretty much same thing, just slightly different colours. And then if we hit the menu again, we get some extra bits and pieces. So we can go for HSI, which is already on the other side, or we can go for ADI, which we have here. So just to bring a sort of a bigger artificial horizon, so you have to keep looking down. And then we'll zoom right in, get to 20 nautical miles. There we go. So you could show your TACAN if it was tuned in, your ILS, your nav, ILS-N as well. Again, not coded at this moment in time, but I could do it through the nav radio. Transponder, we'll just put that onto my number there and just set that to on for the minute. Okay, so all is good. We can bring back the throttle. Canopy is down and locked, and we've got taxi light on. Okay, we've got rad out. If we hit that, we can obviously hide the control column. We've got our oxygen here. We'll switch that on. Okay, and got chocks, ladder and covers here, switches, and our pitot switches up here. Okay, so we can take the parking brake off. Nozzle steering is already on. Going to head right to runway 05 or 06. At the time of this being modelled, it was 06 at Lakenheath, but it's now 05. Magnetic poles are shifting, so runway heading changes. Fun times. Right then, let's get this thing up in the air and end the video, I think. Okay, I know the runway's clear, so I'm going to go straight out. Right then, line up. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it for the update. I mean, as you can see, it looks superb. It's come a long way since its initial release, and becoming one of my favourites, let's just put it that way. So let's power up, brakes off, afterburner on. Up. Bit windy. Okay, if you got this far, thank you for watching. I hope that's piqued your interest, and as always, take care. I'll catch you in the next one.